What's up, guys? My name's Coaltrane, and welcome back to the Discovery Forge. Today, we're talking gear. Specifically, the gear that I'm carrying with me on my thru hike of the Appalachian Trail. I'm stoked about this episode because it provides a full tour of my pack. What's in it, how much it weighs, and ultimately, how it will help me on this journey from Springer Mountain to Catchall. They say you pack your fears, and I used to carry way too much food, but recently I've been trying to carry less and less. I guess I'm more afraid of getting injured than getting hungry out on the trail. And with that in mind, I've spent a lot of time over the past year acquiring, weighing, and organizing my gear to try to pare down and keep my pack as light as possible. So basically, I think about my pack in 4 categories. My big 3, so my pack, tent, sleep system, food and water, clothes, and a catch-all that has lots of small items for hygiene and electronics. After crunching the numbers, my base weight came out to just over 16 pounds. Now keep in mind, that's without food or water. And if we look at the data, about half that weight comes from my big 3, followed by clothes, and then small items like my food and water system and the catch-all. I also tabulated what it cost to put this pack together, which was just over $2,000. And if you look at the price breakdown, it looks really similar to the weight distribution, with most of the cost going into the big 3, followed by clothes and then smaller items. The data is the data. Turns out my big 3 are the heaviest things in my pack, and they cost me the most money. So let's start there. I used to be a hammock camper. I had an old school woven style hammock, but I knew I was going to need an upgrade for a big hike like the Appalachian Trail. And last year, I was really fortunate to learn about a deal from Dan Durston Gear. That package formed the core of my pack, which is a 40-liter pack called the DD40 and a 2-person tent called the X-Mid 2. And I use Black Diamond Carbon Z trekking poles to assemble that tent. And once I switched to that 40-liter volume, I've realized that most of the other stuff in my pack couldn't even fit in there. So I had to upgrade my sleeping system, and I use a Z-Lite Thermarest. That thing is practically indestructible. And then I throw my helium down sleeping bag on top of that, and I use a Sea to Summit inflatable pillow. And that system has kept me very warm in all the conditions that I've taken it out in. In fact, I even tried it in my backyard when it was 17 degrees last winter, and it did great. Okay, let's talk about my food and water system. It all revolves around my Toaks cooking pot, and the thing I really like about it is that everything in my kitchen can fit inside of that pot. So that includes everything from my gas canister, a mini bake lighter, the BMS stove, and even a towel. And I went ahead and bought the long handled spork from Toaks, and I plan on carrying a small pocket knife from Victorinox. As for water, I'm going to be carrying the Sawyer Squeeze and using the 2-liter bag from Scenic to quickly scoop up water from a stream or a source, and I'll store between 2 to 3 liters of water using smart water bottles. Alright, let's talk about the clothes that I'm bringing. They can be broken down into 4 groups: my uniform, cold weather gear, rain gear, and a few comfort items. My uniform, it consists of the shirt I'm wearing, so it's a Skyline shirt from Arc'teryx, and a pair of shorts from LL Bean that have a liner. And I'll also carry 2 pairs of socks, and the last part of my uniform is a piece of gear that no hiker can go without, and that is footwear. I spent a lot of time over the past year trying to decide whether I want to take leather boots, like these Vasks, or the oh-so-popular trail runners from Ultra. Yes. I finally decided that I'm going to wear trail runners, and I just got a brand new pair of the Ultra Lone Peak 5s, and I'm going to use a new pair of these Trailblazer Super Feet and put some miles on them. When it gets chilly, I'll throw on my base layer from Smartwool, lightweight beanie, and a pair of gloves. And if I need a little extra warmth, I have a synthetic puffer jacket from Enlightened Equipment. And I went with synthetic rather than down because I was worried about the down getting wet and not holding its insulation out here on the East Coast. Speaking of rain, when it starts coming down, I'm going to throw on my rain jacket and rain pants that I've had for a number of years now. They're heavy, but they get the job done. I'm also bringing a couple comfort items. A bug net, which provides a lot of relief when the bugs are bad out there, and a pair of Crocs to relax around camp after a long day's hike. And last but not least is the Catchall, which contains a bunch of little items that I like to group into my bathroom, personal items, and electronics. For the bathroom, I'm carrying the Deuce trowel, some toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and a bidet, which I'm still not sure if I'm going to bring yet. Also going to bring toothbrush, toothpaste, and a mouth guard, and a really small first aid kit. The most important thing in there is duct tape, which can fix blisters and your pack, you name it. On top of that, I've got earplugs for noisy snorers in the shelter, prescription sunglasses, a cork ball to massage out tight muscles, and my wallet, and probably going to bring a book or a map. Now my electronics are very pared down. I've got an Anchor battery pack and my iPhone 8, which I'm going to use to take pictures and videos along the way, cords for both of those things, and a Nightcore headlamp, which I would highly recommend to anyone who's on the market for a headlamp. So as you can see, most of the items in my pack are commercially available, but I did do a little bit of DIY. Specifically, I made 3 stuff sacks, one for food, one for clothes, and one for my electronics, and I'm pretty proud of these babies. Alright, so that's what I'm planning to carry in my pack. I know we went through it rapid fire today, so I included this table that summarizes the weights and the prices, and I'll leave more information in the description below, like links if you want to follow up in more detail on any of these items. That's all for gear today, folks. Thanks again for tuning into the Discovery Forge, and as always, keep exploring and happy trails.